What's up guys, this is Shamus11 and welcome to Valiant Hearts The Great War on Xbox One. Now, this for the merry month of October 2015 is the game of the month with games with gold, so this is absolutely free all month long. Made by Ubisoft Montreal. This has previously received incredibly good reviews, and a lot of you on social media and through my Xbox have got back to me and said you really enjoyed this game in the past. It's one that was always kind of on my radar, but I just never for some reason got around to picking up, so now is an absolutely great time for us all to finally give it a go. It's a bit of a tricky one because at first glance you would have absolutely no idea what this game is about, and even watching kind of footage of it, it just kind of looks like you're walking from A to B. It's quite tricky to actually gauge what you do. But basically, we have a game set to World War I and very heavily inspired by true events. Not as in the story, these characters don't exist necessarily, but basically, we start off as this German farmer who lives in France. Then World War I kicked off and all the Germans were thrown out of France, which is completely true. That did happen. We then basically have a situation where we have the young German guy gets conscripted, can't even say it, but is forced to join the German National Army, and the dad, the father-in-law, is French, and then he gets his orders. So you can pretty much guess what's going to happen. They end up being, of course, on opposite sides, and their paths kind of cross. Along the way, we meet up with a young French medic, and we find out her backstory and what's happened to kind of her mother and father. And we also meet, playing as the older French guy here, the father, we also meet an African American. So we play as everybody. We play as a white French guy, a white German guy, an African American, a French medic, and we even get our own dog to control. And essentially it's a puzzle game. It is basically walk from left to right on the screen. Along the way we have to solve little puzzles. They aren't really too tricky, they're not too taxing. I haven't particularly got stuck. There is some action along the way, there's plenty of QTE, quick time events. And it's all set to kind of this, I can't really explain it, but it's really good looking and it has a certain feel about the game. Everyone here has kind of stopped and watched, and everybody thinks this just looks kind of mesmerising, really. And what's nice about it is because it is draped in history and true events, all along the way you find artifacts on each level. You get little stories or factoids or informational bits, and I have actually learnt some stuff and I've enjoyed doing it. I am purposely walking the wrong way, by the way, in this clip, because on each level there is a collectible, of course. There's an achievement for collect 5, collect 50, collect all, I do believe 119. Achievement-wise, this is quite well known for achievement hunters as a relatively easy 1000. I would say gameplay-wise, you're probably looking at about 8 hours. There are 4 chapters set all the way. We're starting at 1914 and going through to 1918. So it is fully covered. We see it from different aspects. We kind of leap forward, we leap back to get different people's perspectives and viewpoints. And find out, of course, the characters and how they all get involved and how their lives intertwine and end up being all mixed together. Like I say, plenty of different things to do. It's not just collect stuff. We also have, along the way, we have some things like dodging these bombs. We have to dodge those trench guns at some point. Here's our little doggy friend we meet fairly early on in Chapter 1. And again, he's quite useful. You can do different things. You can give him commands, so you can send him to fetch stuff. You can send him to stand on certain platforms. You can move him around, and he can do the same. You can stand on platforms and he can activate the odd thing. And this is, of course, being a Ubisoft game, you do get Uplay rewards as well for doing certain actions, which is pretty cool. What's really wicked is you get these what's called taxi sections, and you essentially just have to dodge left and right, different bombs, different objects in the road, but they're all set to music. So if you got the volume up, you know, you can kind of do it to the time, and it's really quite cool. My favourite one without doubt is the second one, which is this one here, and you get an achievement, of course, for complete one of these without taking any damage to your car at all. 3 strikes and you are very much out. But the checkpoints are very good. I have died quite a few times for various reasons, just making mistakes, accidentally triggering off bombs, not being fast enough, dodging stuff, or not killing a boss quick enough. But the checkpoints are very good. You will only have to retrace a couple of steps. Collectibles, once they're found, they are found and they are saved. Overall, I mean, in comparison to Dear God that we got last month, which was Dear God, I don't know anyone that actually enjoyed it, and I don't mean put up with it, I mean fully enjoyed it. This, so far, I've got a little bit more to do, admittedly, but has been an absolute pleasure. You could probably blitz this over a weekend. If you're a hardcore gamer, you could probably do this in a day. But it's overall very, very enjoyable, and it's absolutely free for all of October, so really guys, no excuse. Download this now. It's just over a gig, fairly quick install, no updates or anything like that, and just enjoy it, and leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Come find me on Twitter at Shams11, or leave me a message on my Xbox. Thank you ever so much for watching. I'll see you next month.